if you agree, we can do two different interviews. One that is for, I think, Kainin told you about it, Women at Work, where it's really about your journey in your career, what were the big steps, what advice would you give to other young people. That's amazing. And then we can do a second interview. A second interview on maybe on for you, what is the future of diversity? If you're of research of trends, but that's a second part. I will first do the one for someone. Oui, maybe. Ah, tu veux le mettre dans ça?
Bah, si on regarde.
Okay, yes. I love your boots. I have several boots as well. I love boots. They're super nice. I just got them. They're really nice. Okay.
Ah oui. Hey. Because I have reflection, the green reflection on the buttons.
C'est pas très grave, non? So you can look at me during the interviews, and when I ask a question, we won't hear my voice on the final cut. So just start from the beginning. Like if I say, if I tell a question, you can take like the beginning of the question. I don't know how to say that in English. Sorry, but let's.
Okay.
I can do that. Okay.
Rolling for me.
Okay. So first, could you present yourself?
Okay, I'm Professor Dr. Xanya Sofra. I have a doctorate in neurophysiology as well. And I started wanting to develop a language that we can communicate with the body. And I left Athens, so I left Greece very early, I was 17 years old. And I went to England, taking my big dream, the big star that was warming me up. It was very cold. And I met the conductor of the pacemaker in London, that he had developed a signal that can actually communicate with the body. And I was fascinated by that, so we did research together. And eventually, I went to New York and I started doing clinical psychology because I wanted to understand how the body influences the mind and how the mind influences the body. And I'm writing a book right now. It's called The Rhythm of Youth. It's called AI Body Synergy. So how Gestalt the experience some parts and it actually show how the mind and the body work together and how one influences the other, and they both give that Gestalt wellness. But you do not have a Gestalt wellness, you do not have anti-aging without involving psychology, because hormones affect your mood, affect your like testosterone is going to make you, low testosterone is going to make you fatty, high inflammation, you're going to have apathy, hyper-metabolism. If it's too high, you're going to be very anxious, you sweaty hands. If it's too low, it's going to be problem. And everything has to be balanced. So when something is balanced, when the body is synchronized, it starts to function much better. And with the body, we have the body, actually the mind. And we have all this research from temperature that she spoke about the type C personality, which is people that they avoid negative feelings, they just want to have positive feelings, always to serve people, always to be nice to people, and they get melanoma cancer as a result of that, because everything is inside. So this is how the mind affects the body and create a very serious illness. So this is what I'm writing about. Basically how we create a language to kind of revive the body and synchronize it. And by synchronizing the body to enhance the immunity and also the immune response.
Great, that's very interesting. So maybe what were the other big? Because I think, from what I remember of our previous conversation, you wrote other books, right?
That's right.
So what were your other topics? Like what were the other topics that you researched throughout your life?
Okay, so I've written 56 articles. They're all about anti-aging and how hormonal balance and how we have this technology that the pacemaker invented. And he created, and of course I added all these waveforms that makes you feel like you're exercising. We have different exercises, like you're swimming or you're riding a horse or you're belly dancing. It's like, it's crazy. It's a very interesting technology. But what it does, not only balances the hormones, but as the fat comes into the bloodstream, it also releases stem cells in the repairs the liver. Also release of fat. Your entire body, your immunity is improved. So this is all the articles that I'm writing about. The first book is about COVID and how COVID, if your immunity is intact, you're going to fight it. And everything is about the immune system, because the problem with COVID is that it blinds the adaptive immune system. So if you have, like the Sanovac, for example, it's good because they present the virus to the body, but once it goes to the adaptive system, the adaptive system is blind. It's like a blind giant and attacks you, which is why you get the cytokine storm. So that's what it is. And the idea was to examine different vaccines. And again, the bottom line is healthy lifestyle, and we have the seven exercise technology. We use that. We use exercise, healthy lifestyle. We enhance the immunity, work the system. All of these things are sustainable. Fat is sustainable. People go to the gym, they're always wondering why. Because fat is sustainable. It's sustainable. So that's what I'm writing. The second book was about psychology and about how people get so enamored with powerful figures and then they destroy their lives. And the third one is brainwashed.
Do you want to show it?
Yes, I can show you.
Please, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me show you the book.
Ah, ça tourne toujours. Ça tourne toujours. Maybe we do it again. You come from this side.
Okay.
Yes, just. Okay. Yeah. In the same place, no? Yeah.
Okay, so this is the brainwashed. That's the book that the third book I wrote, and the fourth one is the rhythm of youth and AI and body imaging. And this one is again about how we basically did everything for whatever reason we just swallowed, weighed it up. And no, we should not do that. We said we have to examine it, we have to understand what we hear and analyze it, and then see what's best for us. Because otherwise we're brainwashed. It's as simple as that. So that's what it is.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So that's the first part of the interview. We will put that in another series that we have that is called Meet the KOL. And now,
Tu l'as fait sur Meet the KOL?
ben là justement, everything that you just said was very fitting for Meet the KOL because it's a big presentation on your work. On your work and your career. So I think that's amazing. I will continue on the topic and then we will go back to the Women at Work theme. But first, what do you think is the biggest aesthetic trend of 2025?
I think that because of COVID, and people have not realized it, but because of COVID, where life was threatened, I think there is a big shift in the anti-aging ecosystem. And I think the anti-aging ecosystem is moving towards health. And people lose clients because they keep doing the same thing, fillers, laser, whatever. But the problem is that people want something more. They want to feel healthy. They want to feel good about themselves. And none of that makes them feel good about themselves. So there is a big shift towards true anti-aging. and what can give them to attention. No instant results that eventually is going to cost them even more. It's like eating the beautiful restaurants, but then you have to pay the bill. It's the same thing with all these procedures. Eventually, with the trauma, the body gets worn out. So through aging, what are the technologies, the methods that can prolong life? And I think a lot of companies have started shifting, and those companies that are shifting are making a change.
Great. So a trend that you would like to see disappear in 2025, aesthetic trends?
Brainwashing. The lie. There's a lot of lie flying around, and I want to see that gone because it deceives people. But we have to be honest. If we cannot do, we cannot do it. And if we can do something little, then we should deliver that. But not exaggerate. Be truthful, be honest.
So what does a congress such as this one brings to your practice?
A congress like this one, basically, what it brings to my practice is knowledge, where we're at and where we can be. Because if you see now a lot of the lectures, like today we had a lecture on pigmentation, and every single speaker spoke about pigmentation being a systemic problem. Like 2 years ago, you would hear that. It would all be surface. They were treating it like a surface problem. So what you see, that's what you have to treat. Right now, they treat it as the system. There's something wrong with the system. We have to fix the system for the pigmentation to improve, because pigmentation is a defense. You don't want to get rid of pigmentation because then you're getting rid of the defense that the body has to protect itself from the exposure to the sun. So now it is changing. You see the lectures. I never did so many lectures before. I have like 6 lectures in Brazil, which is in a few days. Why? Because everything is systemic, and people want it. They want to hear what it is and how it is. So it's changing.
So would you say this is the evolution in the aesthetic fields that you look the most forward to?
Yeah, I'm not just looking forward, I'm predicting. And I'm also predicting another thing. There's a Nobel Prize 2024 on basically synthesizing the proteins. And proteins are the words in cells. So you're going to see in 5 years, remember my words, nothing is going to be about exosomes, because exosomes are like packages that carry, they're like FedEx packets. Okay, they carry things, they like carry microRNAs and DNAs and proteins. In about 5 years from now, everything's going to be about cells. We synthesize them. You're going to see. Remember my words. That's what's coming down the pipe.
We have
Amazing. We have it, and it will be out. Okay, that's amazing. So we just done the interview on the future of the aesthetics. So now we're going to talk about women at work, where it's really about telling your story and what were your challenges that you had to overcome as a woman in your industry, and what other advices that you can give to young women that would like to follow your footsteps maybe. But I will guide the conversation with questions. So could we do the presentation again, but this time a little bit shorter, because we already have the long version for another social media video. So now we can do like a shorter presentation.
So the most important thing is because it's a man-dominated world.
Sorry. No, we need a short presentation of yourself, okay. Introduction of yourself. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Professor Dr. Xanya Sofra. I have a doctorate in neurophysiology from London and a doctorate in science from Madrid. And I have done a lot of research. Was in clinical practice for many years. So I'm 71 right now. And I started from zero, with no money at all. Like pretty much still I did not have much fun. I had to work for it. So, and it's all about discipline.